Hello, my beautiful friends. My name is DeAndre, and today we will be doing a beautiful yin yoga, little just kind of a 10-minute, 15-minute quick yin to get into our body. We're going to get into the hips and a little bit of the spine as well. So, with that said, I want you to come into Sphinx pose. So, we're going to start in Sphinx just to say hello to the lower spine a bit. We're going to take the forearms about shoulder width distance, and you want to make sure that the elbows are right underneath the shoulders. And as you take your gaze in between your thumbs, I want you to press a little bit more through your forearms, and then think about a little bit of a tug backwards through your elbows, like you were trying to pull the mat back as the belly almost moved forward. And then just relaxing the head once you find a good place. You can even move the head side to side. What does opening and closing the jaw feel like to you? Maybe moving it side to side. You can even start to wiggle the body a little bit. I love some wiggles. A wiggle a day keeps some of the BS away. And so it's just kind of moving the hip side to side a little bit. A little bit of a shimmy through the shoulders, becoming a little softer. And then when you find yourself saying hello to all the places that perhaps aren't spoken to as often as they should be, I want you to find stillness and breathe a breath that expands and softens the body at the same time. If you are just fairly a little bit more flexible and you want a little bit more of challenge with a little flavor of yang, you can start to straighten your arms a bit. Now, this is very yang for me. I feel like I'm about to explode inside, so I'm going to honor my body and come back down. But if your arms can straighten and they can start to walk underneath the shoulders, and that doesn't feel too intense on your lower back, please do what makes you feel present. We're going to hang out here for about 5 more breaths. And what you're just going to do is softly adjust your elbows outwards until one hand can go on top of the other, and place your forehead down onto the top hand. And then what I want you to do is just feel your lower belly. Try to pull the lower belly away from the ground so that the tailbone tucks a bit. It's a mindful engagement of the core, a little bit of yang within the yin, and then relaxing the pelvic tuck once again. We're going to bring it into tabletop pose. So shoulders over the wrist and the hips over the knees. No fancy way to get there, just get there. I want you to move the spine in every single direction. I want you to take your time as well. This is an invitation to explore the treasure of your body. I wholeheartedly believe that your body deserves to be celebrated. And then gently bringing all of this spinal movement back to center. And let's take it back into a downward facing dog, curling through the toes, lifting through the hips. Walk your legs out a little bit so it's just a bend and a straighten alternating between the legs. And then finding stillness when stillness finds you. On your next inhale, we're going to take the right leg, let it fly up as high as it can go, and then just gently moving into half pigeon, also known as sleeping swan in yin. Right knee, I like to take it right behind the right wrist, and the right foot is aligned behind the left wrist. You're going to move the left foot as far back as possible. And think about lifting through the heart, maybe a little bit of a back bend at first. And then just allowing the floor to receive you. What is it like to be supported by the ground? Relaxing the head, relaxing the arms. If you have a lot of space and this is very uncomfortable, for this right hip you can always place a blanket or a block underneath the right hip for a little bit more support. You can also do the same for your head. If you're wanting some more support for your head, you can always take blankets, pillows, blocks, whatever to get you a little more elevated. We don't have to be perfect to be amazing. We are allowed to have support. There's nothing wrong in it. Allow your breath to be slow, gentle, yet potent. Soften your shoulders if possible. Soften your teeth. We're here for 3 more breaths. Deep, beautiful, expansive inhale through your nose. And a big, gentle, freeing exhale out your mouth. On your next inhale, you're just going to bring your hands by your temples and then pressing into the floor. Lift your heart up. We're going to counter really quick and more so neutralizing. So roll onto your right hip. Ooh, buddy. And swing both legs forward. And I like to take the hands back behind me a little bit, turn the fingers out, and just kind of move the legs. Get a little bit of blood flowing. Rocking the knees side to side. And then just pulling the knees together and then pulling them apart. At the same time, if you want a bit of a chest stretch, you can even walk your hands even further back as you do this. Or you can walk your fingers closer together, and that makes it a lot more intense. And I want you to use a little bit of your yang muscles to pull the knees out as much as they can go. Hold 3. Hold 2, and then 1, sliding your fingers in your chest forward. No fancy vinyasa tricks today. Just making your way back into downward facing dog. Whatever way gets you there is beautiful. And so just as we did pigeon on the right side, now let's find pigeon on the left. Take your left leg to the sky, inhale. And then through your exhale, finding half pigeon, sleeping swan, whatever you want to call it. Sometimes it hurts, sometimes you flirt with it, sometimes it's your best friend. I love pigeon pose. It's taught me so much. about resiliency, about listening to my body. Release the chest, release the forehead, releasing everything that is no longer contributing to your expansion, to your growth, to your presence. It's giving it away. You know, I hope you respect yourself enough to water your roots, to make your life nourishing, to choose more of what is beneficial to your heart. It's not always easy, especially if we weren't programmed to be that way growing up. This is self-care. Being real with yourself is self-care. It is so important to be honest with you every day. That is how we learn and that is how we grow. That is how we live a fulfilling life. Take a deep inhale through the nose. Big exhale out the mouth. On your next inhale, taking your hands by your temples, pressing the ground away, lifting the heart up. All right. Feels like summer. And we're going to roll onto the left glute and swing your back leg forward. I don't know why I get so much positive emotions from pigeon pose. I feel high. And from here, once again, just allowing the knees to go side to side. If you have a better way to get the blood flowing and vitality back into your legs, please do your special way. And then we're going to find ourselves finally on our back. I want you to take the feet about mat width distance. Let your knees knock in towards each other. And then letting your arms let off to the side. They can go off like a side. They can go off like a T. You can cactus, goalpost arms. You can do whatever brings you here. Giving yourself time to blossom, to rest, to laugh, to mourn, to thrive. You have to embrace everything that life throws your way. And it's not gonna be all great. I find a sense of comfort knowing that we all have some type of suffering. And it gives me a little bit more purpose because my suffering sees your suffering. And while I don't think they happen for a reason, I create meaning out of my suffering. That is what led me here on my mat. And so we shared together, we healed together, we smiled together, we cried together. We don't have to be perfect to be amazing. You don't have to be perfect to be beautiful. And we don't have to be happy all the time to be fulfilled. Gently bring your feet back together. And pull your knees into your chest and take your arms around your knees as you rock side to side very gently. Maybe not rocking all the way over. And then just rocking up into a seat. If you would like to take a little Shavasana on your own time, please do. But I thank you so much for sharing practice with me, for sharing whatever time of the day it is for you with me. I see you. I am another you. Thank you. Until next time, my friends. Be well.